Welcome to this session of BSc Physics. The topic of discussion is molecular physics. I am Dr. K.N. Jagadish. This discussion is the second part of the scattering of light. In this session, we are concentrating only on the Raman scattering. The contents of this discussion are as follows. Firstly, the experimental arrangement required for studying the Raman effect. The second part is the explanation of Raman effect by making use of the quantum theory of radiation. Third is the intensity of Raman lines. That is, interpretation of the intensity of Raman lines. Next, the importance of the Raman spectra and its applications in the field of spectroscopy. Next comes the discussion on the conditions for Raman transition. And finally, we are going to have a note on the differences between the different types of scattering. To begin with, we shall look into the experimental arrangement of Raman effect. Here, the apparatus used to study the Raman effect in liquids is as shown in the figure. It was originally developed using wood. That is, the apparatus was made of wood. Coming to the description, the apparatus consists of a glass tube of length approximately 10 to 15 centimeters and diameter around 2 centimeters, containing pure experimental liquid. The tube is closed at one end by an optically plane glass plate, which forms the window W, and the other end is drawn into the shape of a horn H and blackened on the outside. It is known as the Raman tube, which helps for total absorption of backward scattered light and to provide a dark background. Light from a mercury arc source, M, is first passed through a suitable filter, F, to get monochromatic radiation, and then it is incident on the experimental liquid. The glass tube is surrounded by a water jacket, J, through which cold water is circulated to prevent overheating of the liquid and maintain a constant temperature. A semi-cylindrical polished aluminum reflector, R, is used to further increase the intensity of illumination. The scattered light coming out of the window W is focused on the slit of a spectrograph with the help of a lens system L, and the spectrum is recorded. Raman spectrum is found to consist of a number of Stokes and anti-Stokes lines and an unmodified Rayleigh line. Next, explanation of Raman effect on the basis of quantum theory. Now here, Raman has used ideas of quantum theory in order to explain his effect. According to quantum theory, when monochromatic light of frequency nu and energy h nu is incident on the scattering molecules, the photon of light undergoes two types of collision with the molecule. The first one is the elastic collision. Here, if the molecule undergoes elastic collision with the photon, there is no net transfer of energy either from the photon to the molecule or vice versa. This produces Rayleigh line. Here, the molecule absorbs energy h nu and excited to a higher state, and during de-excitation, the molecule returns to the same state. Then, coming to the inelastic collision. In inelastic collision, if the molecule collides with the photon elastically, there is net exchange of energy during collision. If E1 is the intrinsic energy and half mv1 square is the kinetic energy of the molecule undergoing collision with the photon of energy h nu and get excited. After collision, let E2 and half mv2 square be the intrinsic energy and kinetic energy of the same molecule respectively, and h nu2 be the energy of the scattered photon. Applying the law of conservation of energy, we can show that h nu1 plus half mv1 square plus E1 is equal to the total final energy h nu2 plus half mv2 square plus E2. Since there is no change in temperature, kinetic energies are same before and after collision. That is, half mv1 square is equal to half mv2 square. Therefore, h nu1 plus E1 can be found to be equal to h nu2 plus E2 after the cancellation of the kinetic energies on both sides. From the above expression, we can show that nu2 is equal to nu1 minus E2 minus E1 by h. This is equal to nu1 minus delta E divided by h, where delta E is the difference in the energies of the molecule. Finally, this is found to be equal to nu1 minus delta nu. That is, delta nu is the change in the frequency due to the inelastic collision. The frequency of the scattered photon depends on the difference between the intrinsic energy before and after collision. Hence, there arises two cases. The first case is the Stokes lines. Here, if the molecule is initially in the lower energy state E1, absorbs the photon energy, it goes to an excited state, and during de-excitation, if it does not return to the original state, but returns to some higher state E2, then E2 is said to be greater than E1. Therefore, E2 minus E1, which is equal to delta E, is found to be positive, which means the final frequency nu2 is less than the initial frequency nu1. Therefore, frequency of scattered photon is less than the frequency of the incident photon. This produces the Stokes lines. The second case is the appearance of the anti-Stokes lines. If the molecule is already in some higher energy state E1 and absorbs the photon energy, it goes to an excited state, and during de-excitation, it returns to ground state E2 directly, then E2 is found to be less than E1. Therefore, the difference in energies E2 minus E1, which is equal to delta E, is found to be negative. So this leads to the conclusion that nu2 is greater than nu1. Thus, frequency of scattered photon is higher than the frequency of the incident photon, and this is the reason for producing the anti-Stokes lines. Coming to the intensity of Raman lines, it is found that at room temperature, the population of the molecules in the lower energy state is higher than that in higher energy states. As Stokes lines are formed by molecules in the lower energy states, more molecules are available in the lower energy state. Hence, the intensity of Stokes lines is more than that of anti-Stokes lines. Similarly, when the temperature is increased, more number of molecules are excited to the higher energy state. Hence, the number of molecules in the excited states increases considerably, and the intensity of anti-Stokes lines also increases. Now, speaking about the importance of Raman spectra, symmetric molecules like CH4 and homonuclear molecules like N2, O2, etc. do not exhibit rotation or vibration spectra. Hence, they cannot be studied by rotation or vibration spectroscopy. But these molecules exhibit Raman spectra by which the molecule can be studied and its properties and other parameters can be known. Molecules which give rotation or vibration spectra in the infrared region can be studied more conveniently by getting a Raman spectrum in the visible region. Due to different selection rules, the vibrations which are inactive in infrared spectroscopy may be observed in Raman spectroscopy. That means the spectra that cannot be observed in infrared spectroscopy is possible by making use of the Raman spectroscopy. Also, Raman spectroscopy requires relatively short time to study. Coming to the applications of Raman spectroscopy. Raman spectroscopy is used to study the molecular structure and identify the molecules, as Raman spectrum is a fingerprint of molecules. Secondly, Raman spectroscopy is used to characterize materials. Next, Raman scattering in crystals is complementary to X-ray study, which means the information regarding the crystals that is obtained using X-rays may be more enhanced by making use of the Raman scattering. Laser Raman spectroscopy is used to determine the real-time concentration of pollutants in the atmosphere. Also, as Raman scattering is sensitive to crystallinity of the sample, it is a good tool to identify crystals by using the sharp peaks that are obtained in the Raman spectrum. In biology and medicine, Raman spectroscopy is used to study the structure of DNA. Coming to the condition for Raman transition. Raman transitions can occur in a substance if and only if there is a change in molecular polarizability. When an atom or a molecule is placed in an electric field, their electron clouds are distorted, and this distortion of the electron cloud is referred to as the polarizability. Polarizability is the ease with which the electron cloud around the atom or molecule is distorted by an external electric field. The selection rule for rotational Raman transitions is delta J is equal to plus or minus 2, and for vibrational Raman transitions is delta V is equal to plus or minus 1. Finally, coming to the distinctions between the different types of scattering. First, we shall try to distinguish the Raman scattering with the Rayleigh scattering. In Raman scattering, we find that it is inelastic scattering. On the other hand, Rayleigh scattering is elastic scattering. Raman scattering is incoherent scattering, and Rayleigh scattering is coherent scattering. That is, the frequency remains unaltered in case of Rayleigh scattering. In case of Raman scattering, the frequency changes, and in Rayleigh scattering, frequency does not change. To observe the effect, molecular polarizability has to change in case of Raman scattering, and in case of Rayleigh scattering, molecular polarizability need not change. In Raman scattering, Stokes lines are more intense than anti-Stokes lines, and in Rayleigh scattering, the intensity of scattered light is directly proportional to 1 by lambda to the power of 4. Now we shall also try to distinguish the Raman scattering with the Compton scattering. In Raman scattering, the collision is inelastic, but in Compton scattering, the collision is elastic in nature. Raman scattering is a collision between a photon and a molecule, and the entire molecule takes part in the collision process. In case of Compton scattering, there is collision between a photon and a free electron only, but nucleus does not take part in the process of collision. In Raman scattering, frequencies related to both higher and lower than that of the incident frequency are present. In case of Compton scattering, the frequencies lower than that of the incident frequency only are present. In Raman spectrum, we find that Raman spectrum lies in the infrared region of the electromagnetic spectrum, but the Compton spectrum lies in the X-ray region of the electromagnetic spectrum. In Raman spectrum, the frequency shift depends on the type of the scatterer. In case of Compton scattering, frequency shift is independent of the nature of the scatterer. Finally, in Raman scattering, the frequency shift is independent of the angle of scattering. But on the other hand, in case of Compton scattering, frequency shift depends on the angle of scattering. Thank you.